connecting with the divine. My child, I know the nights when you lie down with a restless heart and a mind drowning in thoughts that won't stop. You stare at the dark ceiling, longing for morning to arrive, as if the light could dissolve the pain that visits you in silence. But it feels like time freezes, doesn't it? The night stretches like a heavy veil while the world around you sleeps, and you remain awake, battling things you can't always name. Your breaths are shallow, your chest feels crushed by something invisible, and your soul cries out for rest. Please, don't miss this special video. It's a message from God to bring light to your day. Click like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. We're aiming for 1,000 subscribers to spread even more faith and hope. Watch it until the end. Click on the first comment and discover the secret ritual to attract money and prosperity. But there, in that darkness where you thought you were alone, I was there. You didn't hear my footsteps, but I walked beside your bed. You didn't see my hand, but I placed it over your chest to calm the panic pounding against your ribs. Every tear you let fall onto your pillow, I collected like a sacred offering. You believed you were abandoned because there were no sounds, but while silence ruled your room, my voice whispered comfort to your spirit. I was the one who stopped you from falling into irreversible despair. I was the one who shielded you from invisible torment trying to drag you deeper into the dark. Don't ignore this. Don't hide behind the mask of, "I'm fine." Don't bury that night deep in your memory, pretending it didn't leave a mark. Let me redeem what happened, because even in silence, I was generating peace. Even when everything felt like it was falling apart, I was filling your lungs with hidden strength, sustaining you in the few minutes you managed to sleep. Comment, even in silence, God whispers hope to my heart. My child, it is urgent that you stop agreeing with the lie that no one sees what you go through when you're alone. I saw it all. I felt every tightness, every tear, every sharp thought with you. And I intervened far more than you imagine. You don't need to pretend that nothing happened. You don't have to cover up the traces of that dark night with forced smiles or brave behavior. I'm not asking you to erase the past, but to let me transform it. It is in the darkness that I act most, when everything seems lost, when you can't even pray properly. While you were lying there, soul exhausted, I was warring on your behalf. I fought for you. I interceded for you. I blocked spiritual attacks that never reached your soul. I reminded heaven, that night, that you still belong to me, even though you doubted it in your weariness. And I am still here. I don't walk away when the morning comes. I don't disappear when the sun shines again. I don't wait for you to smile to draw near. I remain constant, in this and every night. I will hold your heart until your thoughts slow down and your soul finds rest once again. But my child, I want more than just to see you surviving. I want to restore you. Don't step into the next night with fear. Don't prepare for another inner battle expecting to lose. Before the shadow comes, call my name, not in desperation, but in faith. You need to understand, my child, this isn't just comfort, it's salvation. I want you to allow me to touch the deepest part of you, the one you don't even face yourself. The one you've locked away, afraid that someone might see it and not understand. I know that place. I see it clearly. And that's exactly where I want to bring my peace. Not just at dawn, but in the middle of your darkest night. I do not sleep, and because of that, you can rest knowing that I am watchful. I guard you while you close your eyes. My presence can be your pillow, your cover, your safety. But there is something you need to do, now, not later. Not when you have more time, or when you feel stronger. Now. Let it go. Let go of this weight you've been dragging around as if it's your duty to fix everything. This guilt, this anxiety, this constant fear, that old pain you keep trying to ignore, it's not yours to carry. You've embraced problems I've already taken for myself. You're carrying burdens that only wear you down and delay my intervention. And while you walk through the day pretending to be fine, trying to seem strong, I see that inside, you are falling apart. And I ask you, stop now. Stop believing you have to be strong for everyone while you're crumbling in silence. Comment: God doesn't ask me for strength, He offers me rest. God created us as unique individuals, and He does not lead us all in the same way. He has an individual, distinct, and unique plan for each one of us. Therefore, if you want to win your race, you'll need to find your own way of running. Sure, we can learn from others, but we must not try to copy them at the cost of losing our own individuality. While following advice and examples from others, we must also spend quiet time with God, asking Him for specific guidance for our lives. Moreover, many people have no idea that there is a powerful method to manifest money. There's a manifestation technique that can change your beliefs about reality on the deepest level of your subconscious mind. This technique literally changed my life. I invite you to give it an honest try. Try clicking the link in the first comment to see if it works for you too. When you believe that God wants to show up in your life, you gain the boldness to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each one of us in unique and wonderful ways, so be open and confident as you seek His blessings and divine direction, believing He has a special plan for you. My child, that's not what I want from you. You are not the savior of anyone. I am. You don't have to carry the future on your shoulders, nor bear the consequences alone, and certainly not pretend everything is under control. You've confused endurance with obedience. You believed that the longer you held on, the more faithful you were being. But I do not delight in silent suffering that rejects my help. I bless the weakness that surrenders, the heart that yields, the hands that open. The pain you feel is not weakness, it's an alarm, a cry for help. And I am answering now. Give it to me. Hand over what is crushing you. Not tomorrow. Not after one more desperate attempt. Now. Place it in my hands, the same hands that held the weight of the world on that cross. Hands that still bear the scars of the love I gave for you. You were not created to protect yourself, sustain yourself, or heal yourself alone. That role is mine, and I do not fail. Faith is not clinging to what's hurting you. Faith is letting go and trusting that I will hold it for you. Comment: faith is not holding on, it's letting go to God. My child, the more you hold on to what's hurting you, the more it seeps into your identity. It starts shaping how you see yourself, the world, and what you think you deserve. It begins to influence how you respond to life, how you perceive your possibilities, and even how you pray. I want to set you free from that. I want to rewrite the story you are living. Not with empty promises, but with my own blood that already secured your rescue. You don't need to keep hiding, pretending, or trying to handle everything alone. I am the God who sees. The God who heals. The God who does not sleep. The night may be long, but the eternity I offer you is longer. The pain you feel today is not the end. It's only part of a process where I, with my eternal love, am rebuilding you. Don't try to end what I am still writing. Don't push beneath the rug the traumas and fears that still need healing. Invite me into that process. And I will be there, just as I always have been. Even when you didn't feel me. Even when you doubted. I have never stopped being your father. and I will never stop fighting for you. My child, I will not let you go back to living in survival mode. I am calling you to live in fullness. I want to see you breathe with relief, smile with freedom, walk with lightness. But that will only be possible when you give me everything. Not just the beautiful prayers, but the silent screams too. Not just your dreams, but also your disappointments. I know every part of you, even the parts you haven't yet recognized. Let me in. Let me transform. I am the God who turns sleepless nights into testimonies of healing. The God who gathers tears and returns hope. The God who invades the darkness with light. And I am doing that now, as you read these words. I am stirring the roots of what has tormented you for so long. I am healing you from within. You will not merely survive. You will bloom. Not pretending to be okay anymore, but living with authenticity and peace. This is the new promise I make to you. No matter how many nights were filled with tears, I am the God who turns the midnight into renewal. I will not leave you alone. And you will see what it truly means to live. Comment, God turns the midnight into renewal. My child, everything feels too heavy because you're trying to live on strength that was never meant to carry eternity. You're carrying a weight I never asked you to hold. You're trying to control what hasn't even happened yet, bracing for pain that might never come, and forcing yourself to be strong in battles that were never yours. I see the way your heart races when you wake up, the way your hands tremble as you imagine what could go wrong, and how you hold back tears while telling others you're fine. But I know the truth. I know your inner world. You've been praying in silence, pleading for a relief that feels delayed, wondering where I am. I am here. I've always been here. I haven't gone silent, you've just had hands too full to receive what I've been offering. So today, with deep tenderness but unwavering authority, I say, release it. Right now. That guilt, those pressures, those future fears, those self-created battles, lay them down in my hands. Not just with words, but with your whole being. Stop pretending to trust me. Show me. Give me every piece of your heart, even the ones you've hidden from yourself. There's no shame in feeling overwhelmed, child. There is beauty in surrendering to the one who never meant for you to carry this alone. You weren't made to survive through anxiety, you were made to live in peace and fullness. Your hands were designed for praise, not for dragging chains of guilt. Your shoulders were created for joy, not strain. And this constant hypervigilance, the need to anticipate every sorrow, is not wisdom, it's torment. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7. You've heard this truth many times, but you still struggle to release it fully. You let go, only to grab it again. You surrender, only to question. And in doing so, your strength drains, your vision clouds, your patience thins, and the joy I'm pouring into your life gets lost in the noise. Overthinking has robbed you of the beauty I intended. You're spending more energy trying to avoid pain than embracing the blessings I've already placed around you. Every time you lean into what if, you're diverting power from your purpose to fuel your panic. I never called you to live on edge. I called you to live in trust. True strength doesn't come from control, it flows from connection with me. Your life is not meant to be a constant emergency. I am not the God of fear. I am the God of peace. You've believed that being strong means never falling, never crying, never resting. But true strength is found in surrender. You keep running, trying to be enough for everyone, trying to hold everything together while silently unraveling. But I see you. I see the tears you hide, the screams you suppress, the fears you mask. And still, I draw closer. And I whisper, let me in. Not to change your surroundings right away, but to transform you within the storm. Because peace doesn't arrive after everything gets fixed, peace comes when you allow me into the center of the chaos. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives, John chapter 14 verse 27. The peace I give isn't fragile. It doesn't depend on circumstances. It's not about everything going right. It's about me being near. You've tried distractions, isolation, rationalizing, and numbing, but none of it healed you. Now, try something different. Let me interrupt your cycle. Let me reach that deep place you've never let anyone touch. I bring no condemnation. Only healing. Only wholeness. Only rest. You've been trying to win battles in your own strength, but some victories only come through surrender. Your heart is weary because you're doing my job. You think preparing for pain will protect you, but it only paralyzes you. Your vigilance has stolen your stillness. You weren't made to live under fear's rule. You were created to move under the sound of my voice. Even when it looks like everything is falling apart, I'm still seated on the throne. I am never late. I arrive in perfect time. While you chase after peace through control, I walk behind you offering a deeper calm. Your fear has taken a throne it does not deserve. Your mind was never meant to be your master. Your heart doesn't have to be a hostage to what if. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6. I'm here. I'm listening. And when I answer, it's not with chaos, but with clarity. Not with pressure, but with peace. Not with confusion, but with purpose. Rest is not a weakness. It's where I speak the loudest. You've been asking me to fix everything around you, but I want to heal what's unraveling within you. Something sacred is happening right now, in this very moment where you've stopped striving and started listening. Don't rush away. Stay here. Let the exchange happen, your worry for my care, your fear for my peace, your burden for my comfort. I'm not here to speed you up, I'm here to anchor you. I won't shame you. I won't pressure you. But I will keep calling you until your heart recognizes the truth. Fear never loved you. Anxiety never saved you. Worry never kept you safe. But I did. I always have. And I always will. Not because you earned it, but because I am love. And my love does not walk away. My love does not fail. My love holds you steady when you feel like you're about to fall. So let this be the day you believe differently. Let this be the moment you finally trust that you were never meant to live burdened. I created you for freedom. You don't need to fear the future when I'm already there. Let today be the day you believe you no longer have to live weighed down. Let this be the shift, the turning point, the sacred beginning. You don't have to stay in the loop of anxiety. You don't have to pretend you're okay anymore. You don't have to drag the same fears across another week. I give you power, not to control everything, but to live fully alive. To love, to laugh, to breathe freely, to walk with me without fear. That's what I died to give you. And I won't let anything steal it from you again. This isn't just a gentle suggestion. This is a holy intervention. I am stepping into your mind's chaos, into your loud what-ifs, into the swirl of unknowns. I am here. You don't have to search for me. You don't have to earn this. My presence is your promise. My peace is your portion. And while the world demands more, I offer rest. While people expect you to hold it all together, I invite you to fall into my arms. Come, let go. Rest now, not when everything is fixed, but because I am here now. I am the peace you've been searching for. My child, you are not lost. I know there are moments when everything inside you feels foggy, and what once was clear is now covered in a heavy cloud of fear and doubt. You try to step forward, but those two words show up again like familiar shadows. What if? What if it all falls apart? What if you're not enough? What if it hurts more than you can handle? These questions whispered in the dark are not just thoughts, they are chains that try to bind you. I see how those silent assumptions steal your courage before you even begin. But I didn't create you to be held hostage by scenarios that haven't even come to pass. I'm not asking you to fight those fears with brute force or push them aside in denial. Instead, I want to go deeper, to transform the root of where they come from. Because every what if is born from uncertainty. And I do not live in uncertainty. I dwell in eternity. I walk through every timeline, every outcome, every future moment long before you arrive there. You project fear onto what could be, but I have already established security in what will be. While you try to find your way with a fragile light, I am already in the unknown with a blazing fire of promise. When your mind cries out, "What if?" remember this, even if the worst happens, you will never face it alone. Even if the pain comes, My presence will be stronger than your sorrow. Even if all your fears unfold, I will be your anchor through every storm. And most of the time, what you dread never even becomes reality, but still, your heart carries the weight of imaginary burdens. That's what I want to free you from. Because this quiet kind of suffering is burying your hope. And I refuse to let you collapse beneath the weight of a story you haven't even lived. I want to teach you a new language. When fear says, "What if?" I want you to answer with "even if." Say it now, even if it happens, I won't be alone. Even if I fall, I'll be held. Even if I break, my Savior stays. This is not surrender, it's strength. It's not resignation, it's redemption. You don't need guarantees to feel secure. What you need is a constant that never changes. And that is what I offer you. I've been faithful in every step behind you. I will remain faithful with every step ahead. You're not walking into darkness. You're walking into days I have already filled with my goodness. And when fear rises again, and it will, you now have a weapon. Not denial. Not distraction. But truth. Truth that rings louder than doubt. Truth that reminds your spirit that it is anchored no matter what storms come. I'm not asking you to never feel fear again. I'm asking you to trust me when fear knocks. I'm asking you to remember the history we have. You've seen me show up just before the deadline. You've seen me provide before the breakdown. You've heard my voice before silence drowned everything else. I haven't changed. I'm not growing distant. I'm growing louder, if only you'll listen. Beyond the noise, I am there. So next time the "what if" whispers again, lift the banner of even if. Even if you lose what you thought you needed, I will give you more than you imagined. Even if people walk away, I will stay by your side. Even if the road is unfamiliar, I will be your guide. Even if your hands shake, my grip on you will never loosen. Let that be your new rhythm. Let that be the pattern of your thoughts. You've rehearsed fear long enough. Now rehearse truth until it becomes your reflex. Don't scroll past this moment. Don't store these words as fleeting inspiration. Receive them as a doorway to transformation. Your mind was never meant to be a battlefield for worst-case scenarios. It was designed to be a sanctuary of my promises. I have come to reclaim that ground, not just as your Lord, but as your peace. Speak this now with your whole heart, even if He is here. Because I am, and I always will be. Before you take one more anxious breath about tomorrow, hear me. Nothing ahead of you can surprise me. While you lie awake, tangled in fear, trying to predict the future, I am already in it. I've stood in the rooms you're afraid to enter. I've prepared the answers to the questions you're too afraid to ask. I've softened the hearts in conversations you dread. I've stripped the power from outcomes that once terrified you. You are not walking into chaos. You are following me into territory I've already conquered. This isn't poetic language, it's urgent truth. You're exhausting yourself trying to anticipate what I've already handled. You're trying to survive something I've already defeated. You've mistaken possibility for prophecy. Just because something could happen doesn't mean it will. And even if it does, it cannot undo what I've established in you. I've seen it all before you even imagined it. You are not called to strategize how to survive. You are invited to trust the one who's already secured your victory. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Nothing gets past me. Nothing escapes my reach. Every step you take is on ground I have prepared. And even if the road winds, even if the night is long, you're walking toward promises I've already made yours. You weren't created to move through life in fear. You were created to walk forward in faith. And this faith does not depend on what you see, it depends on who walks beside you. And I promise you this, I walk with you, always. Nothing escapes me. I have already intercepted attacks you will never know about. I silenced voices that came to discourage you. I redirected outcomes that would have drained your faith to the last drop. You wept over battles I never allowed to come near you. And still, I am not finished. I remain present in your future, preparing what is to come, removing traps designed to dismantle your hope. You are covered by a protection your eyes cannot see. Even when you feel blind now, your blindness does not affect the clarity of my vision. Your uncertainty does not cancel the perfection of my plan. Do not walk in the shadows of fear, walk in the light of my love. You are connected to a shepherd who knows the terrain before your journey even begins. So stop measuring the risks and start magnifying me. Look to me, not to your losses. Yes, you were hurt. I know. And because of that, you fear another disappointment. But I am not the one who left you. I am not your wound. I am your healing. Do not confuse me with those who failed you. I am faithful, constant, and eternal. My preparation is perfect, and my love neglects no detail. I have already arranged everything you need, even the sigh of relief you haven't yet released. I don't react, I prepare. I reveal. Your next season will not be marked by fear, but by purpose. Even if it feels strange or frightening, I assure you, I am already there, ahead of you. I have already planted peace along paths your feet have not yet touched. I have already released strength for moments you have not yet lived. I have already wrapped your future days in a hope that will sustain you before fear even tries to approach. Your role is not to control what's coming. It's to walk closely with me. When you know the one who holds time in his hands, you don't need to know every detail. Trust, I have already been in your tomorrow and secured everything your soul will need when you get there. Stop trying to hold everything up with your own hands. I see how hard you've been trying. You've fought so hard, with so much effort, that you haven't even noticed how much it has drained your soul. This desperate grip you have on your own life, this need to watch everything, fix everything, anticipate everything, is not wisdom. It is a prison in disguise. You've convinced yourself that control will bring you security. But in reality, all you've gained is exhaustion. And you've lost the rest that only I can give. You wake up each day with a weight on your chest before your feet even hit the ground. You speak of peace, but inside, you're already bracing for what might go wrong. I see it. I see how much you care about what others think. I see how you review every decision, how you build plan upon plan just to avoid pain. But my child, I did not create you to live like this. You were designed to walk in rhythm with me, not to run ahead and call me in to fix the mess afterward. This obsession you have with managing everything is not strength. It's fear dressed as responsibility. And I did not call you to that. I am calling you to freedom, not superficial freedom, but a deep, true liberation that reaches your mind, your heart, your spirit. For that, you must let go of what you've been holding so tightly. You've made control your refuge, but it has become your prison. Today, I offer you the key, trust. Not passive surrender, but a courageous act of trust in me. You don't need to know how it all ends when you're walking with the one who wrote the ending from the beginning. You don't need a guarantee when you already have me. And I'm not calling you to foolishness. I'm inviting you to stop carrying what was never yours to uphold. The future belongs to me. The outcomes belong to me. Time belongs to me. But peace is yours. And you waste it every time you try to control what only I can govern. You think letting go means everything will fall apart. But what if it's the opposite? What if letting go is exactly when everything finally starts falling into place under my hands? You were not called to orchestrate. You were called to trust the composer. Your role is to sing, not to conduct the symphony. You're carrying your emotions, the expectations of others, timelines that were never yours, and problems that aren't yours to solve. But today, I am calling you out of that system. My beloved, I am breaking this cycle. Release the tension. Let your shoulders relax. Breathe again. This need to control is not protecting you. It's preventing you from receiving all that I want to give you. You cannot receive from me with clenched fists. You cannot move forward while still holding on to what should have been left behind. The tighter you hold on, the less room I have to act. Let me in. Let me show you what I can do with the spaces you surrender. You will not lose what is yours. In letting go, you will discover what you couldn't access while trying to manage everything. Surrender is not weakness. It is spiritual warfare. And today, I, your God, am leading you out of the prison of control and into the freedom of trust. Walk with me. Don't rush your steps, don't fear the valleys, don't hide in the labyrinths of your mind. I am guiding your feet with precision. I do not mislead. I do not delay. I do not fail to provide. I want your mind at ease, your heart at peace, your soul at rest. I want to see your spirit dance again, not under the weight of an uncertain future, but in the certainty that I have already been there, building everything with love, detail by detail. I am in control, not to limit you, but to liberate you. Not to dominate you, but to love you deeply, with care, with perfection. Today is the day you release the burden and take my hand. Today is the day you not only hear me, but choose to walk beside me in faith. And when you do, you will see, I am more than enough. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end. And your end will be in peace, because I am your God. Amen. Beloved child, I want you to stop for a moment and rest. You have been striving so hard, as if your own strength were responsible for carrying the entire weight of the world. But there is something urgent you need to understand. You were not created to bear everything alone. While you try to stand on your own, I invite you to simply surrender. Let me be the foundation of your life, because I am the one who upholds all things, including you. Do not fool yourself into thinking that my presence is only found in the extraordinary, in great manifestations or visible miracles. I am the God who dwells in the silence, in the gentle breeze, in the everyday moments. When you seek me in the noise and find nothing, you conclude that I am absent. But listen carefully, I am closer than your very breath. I am woven into your being, inside every beat of your heart. I am not a distant God, I am a present Father. You do not need to call on me with perfect words, nor assume a certain posture to catch my attention. The truth is, the very moment fear begins to touch your soul, I am already by your side. Even before the thought forms, I know what is coming. You have asked me with pain in your chest and tears in your eyes, "Where are you, Lord?" And my answer, child, is this: I am here. I have always been here. While you suffer, I suffer with you. I sit with your questions, even when you think you are alone. I am not watching from afar, detached. I am so close I can hear your quietest thoughts. The problem is not my absence, it is your perception that my nearness depends on how you feel. But know this, your feelings are not a compass for measuring my love. Just because you do not hear me or do not feel me, it does not mean I have gone away. I remain unshakable. The enemy tries to convince you that you have been abandoned. He whispers lies to make you give up searching for me. But I know every tear you hid. I was present in every crisis you faced without telling a soul. When your hands trembled with anxiety, I was the warmth that kept them from going numb. When your mind got trapped in consuming thoughts, I was the peace trying to anchor you. Even when you could not pray, I was still there. Closer than your voice, more faithful than anyone who ever promised to be with you. I am the silence that tenderly surrounds you, the gentle nudge that leads you toward hope. Even when your faith wavers, my presence remains. You may build walls with your worries, but I walk through them. Your fears may blur your vision, but I have never lost sight of you. Child, you do not need to climb your way back to me. You do not have to climb mountains or prove your perfection. I made my home in you. I am not a visitor who comes on good days and leaves when everything falls apart. I dwell in you, permanently. And even when you think I am preparing to come near, I am already here. You have mistaken my silence for absence. But often, I quiet all other voices so that you will finally hear the whisper of my presence. I do not need to shout to prove I am here. I simply remain. And it is in this remaining that I care for you without spectacle but with constancy. Do not wait for a sign, do not wait for a feeling. My nearness is an eternal, unchanging, infallible truth. It is written, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Matthew 28 verse 20. This promise is the foundation of your security. Now listen, because this is urgent, stop living as if you are alone. Every time you start imagining the worst case, your peace unravels. You have allowed fear to write scripts in your mind, and with that, your confidence falls like dust in the wind. But I say to you, with authority and love, no outcome, no possibility, no threat can touch your life unless I allow it. And if I allow it, it is because I will also be there to sustain you. Do not turn assumptions into facts. Do not give the throne of your imagination to fear when I am already seated on the throne of heaven. You believe in me, but you act as if you are adrift. There is a chasm between your faith and your expectation, and that chasm steals your strength. But today I call you to remember, I am sovereign. And the sovereignty of my love cares not only for the stars in the sky but also for the tears in your eyes. No detail in your story escapes my attention. You do not know how it will all end, but I do. And I am not nervous, anxious, or uncertain. Nothing surprises me. Neither diagnoses, nor goodbyes, nor failures, nor losses. I have control over the universe, but I also care for every second of your pain. The same hand that sustains galaxies is the hand that holds yours. Do not believe that your problem is too small for me, or too big for me to handle. I see everything, the things you hide and the things you reveal. And still, I remain here. With love, with patience, with promise. Stop looking ahead as if everything depends on you. Look to me. I am your refuge, your rock, your father. I am above everything that threatens you. And because of that, nothing has authority over you unless it passes first through the filter of my love. Breathe, child. Breathe and recognize, I am the air that sustains you. I am the God who never left. I am the love that will never stop holding you. My beloved child. I am not distant, nor indifferent to what you are going through. Even in the shadows of your fear, in the doubts that suffocate you, in the nights filled with anguish and uncertainty, I am speaking to you. Not from afar, but touching the very core of your being, the place where your soul shrinks before what is to come, the meeting you dread, the test result that seems to carry your entire future, the decision that feels heavier than you can bear. I do not watch from a distance, I enter those spaces of worry with divine intention. I am present. And this should be your comfort, even when every detail seems beyond your reach or understanding. You don't need to know every piece of the puzzle to feel secure. You only need to remember that I never lose control. Everything that terrifies you, everything that seems unpredictable, has no power outside of my sovereign will. If something moves, it moves because I allow it. If it happens with purpose. That doesn't mean you won't feel discomfort, pain, or sorrow. It means none of those things have the final word. Pain cannot cancel my plan. It cannot undo what I am building for your good. And this is the invitation I am extending to you, not to deny pain or fear, but to have a faith so strong that fear bows before the authority I hold over all things. I know you have given far too much space to the what-ifs, those thoughts that trap you and toss you into a future full of uncertainties and dread. But I hold the what is. I am the sovereign keeper of your outcome. I am not a God who merely reacts to what happens. I am the King who rules and decides before anything occurs. Your fears cannot outrun me. The threats your mind imagines have no power to change what I have already declared. Even what you fervently pray for, I know it inside and out, and I know how to guide you through it if it ever comes. Most of what you fear never even manifests. You suffer in advance, giving energy to shadows that should never take root in your heart. I am not condemning you for this, I am rescuing you from this cycle. Rest, my child. Not because you have solved everything, but because you have surrendered it to the one who has already set the limits on what can touch you. Release the need to control what belongs to me. Stop rehearsing disaster in your mind. Silence the voices that say everything depends on you to avoid heartbreak. It does not. Your future is not hanging by a fragile thread. It is held securely in hands that were pierced to prove I would never let you go. Now, breathe deeply. Let your soul unclench from the tension that binds it. The outcome you dread is already kneeling beneath the weight of my authority. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stand against the one who reigns sovereign. In the chaos you feel, in the storm that seems unbearable, you have begun to believe the lie that I have abandoned you, that I left you alone to figure it all out. I need you to hear this urgently. This is not abandonment, but a setup for my approach. I am not standing far off, waiting for the storm to pass. I am not shouting orders from the shore. I am already moving toward you, walking above the very waves that threaten to drown you. I have never lost sight of where you are. You have not slipped through my fingers, nor wandered out of my reach. Even though the storm overwhelms you, I use it as a bridge to come to you. What you see as resistance, I turn into access. Your cries were never unnoticed. Your prayers were never buried in silence. Your desperation did not push me away, it drew me closer. I have watched your heart grow weary from trying to keep everything steady while the wind howled against you. I have seen how you tried to encourage others even when you were barely holding on yourself. I know every moment you showed up even when your soul felt like sinking. Because I know the depth of your storm, I am not sending a solution from a distance, I am entering it with my authority. The waves are not greater than me. The thunder does not intimidate me. The storm is not your grave, it is the backdrop for my glory to be revealed. I am coming not only to speak peace over the storm but to prove that I am the Prince of Peace inside it. You are not invisible here. You are not forgotten in this chaos. Your circumstances do not erase my covenant with you. I am walking on the very thing that tried to pull you under. My beloved child, I am not distant, nor indifferent to what you are going through. Even in the shadows of your fear, in the doubts that suffocate you, in the nights filled with anguish and uncertainty, I am speaking to you. Not from afar, but touching the very core of your being, the place where your soul shrinks before what is to come, the meeting you dread, the test result that seems to carry your entire future, the decision that feels heavier than you can bear. I do not watch from a distance. I enter those spaces of worry with divine intention. I am present. And this should be your comfort, even when every detail seems beyond your reach or understanding. You don't need to know every piece of the puzzle to feel secure. You only need to remember that I never lose control. Everything that terrifies you, everything that seems unpredictable, has no power outside of my sovereign will. If something moves, it moves because I allow it. If it happens with purpose. That doesn't mean you won't feel discomfort, pain, or sorrow. It means none of those things have the final word. Pain cannot cancel my plan. It cannot undo what I am building for your good. And this is the invitation I am extending to you, not to deny pain or fear, but to have a faith so strong that fear bows before the authority I hold over all things. I know you have given far too much space to the what-ifs, those thoughts that trap you and toss you into a future full of uncertainties and dread. But I hold the what is. I am the sovereign keeper of your outcome. I am not a God who merely reacts to what happens. I am the King who rules and decides before anything occurs. Your fears cannot outrun me. The threats your mind imagines have no power to change what I have already declared. Even what you fervently pray for, I know it inside and out, and I know how to guide you through it if it ever comes. Most of what you fear never even manifests. You suffer in advance, giving energy to shadows that should never take root in your heart. I am not condemning you for this, I am rescuing you from this cycle. Rest, my child. Not because you have solved everything, but because you have surrendered it to the one who has already set the limits on what can touch you. Release the need to control what belongs to me. Stop rehearsing disaster in your mind. Silence the voices that say everything depends on you to avoid heartbreak. It does not. Your future is not hanging by a fragile thread. It is held securely in hands that were pierced to prove I would never let you go. Now, breathe deeply. Let your soul unclench from the tension that binds it. The outcome you dread is already kneeling beneath the weight of my authority. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stand against the one who reigns sovereign. In the chaos you feel, in the storm that seems unbearable, you have begun to believe the lie that I have abandoned you, that I left you alone to figure it all out. I need you to hear this urgently. This is not abandonment, but a setup for my approach. I am not standing far off, waiting for the storm to pass. I am not shouting orders from the shore. I am already moving toward you, walking above the very waves that threaten to drown you. I have never lost sight of where you are. You have not slipped through my fingers, nor wandered out of my reach. Even though the storm overwhelms you, I use it as a bridge to come to you. What you see as resistance, I turn into access. Your cries were never unnoticed. Your prayers were never buried in silence. Your desperation did not push me away, it drew me closer. I have watched your heart grow weary from trying to keep everything steady while the wind howled against you. I have seen how you tried to encourage others even when you were barely holding on yourself. I know every moment you showed up even when your soul felt like sinking. Because I know the depth of your storm, I am not sending a solution from a distance, I am entering it with my authority. The waves are not greater than me. The thunder does not intimidate me. The storm is not your grave, it is the backdrop for my glory to be revealed. I am coming not only to speak peace over the storm, but to prove that I am the Prince of Peace inside it. You are not invisible here. You are not forgotten in this chaos. Your circumstances do not erase my covenant with you. I am walking on the very thing that tried to pull you under. And I do this for one reason: to reach you, to lift you, to remind you that I never leave my own to drown in what I already have dominion over. I did not bring you this far to let you sink now. I am not checking if you are strong enough. I am here to carry you when you have lost the strength to try. I am not asking you to understand how I will fix it. I am asking you to fix your eyes on me when everything around you blurs in uncertainty. Look again, child. Look beyond the storm to the figure walking through it all, me. I know your name. I know the exact coordinates of your heart in this chaos. I am stepping through the fear, the confusion, the despair to reach you. I am here beside you, closer than ever before. I am the one who will not let the storm defeat you. I am the calm in the whirlwind, the shelter when the wind blows too hard. You are not alone. No matter how unpredictable the situation, I am your safety. And even when you cannot see it, even when everything feels uncertain, I am working. I use what you see as barriers to create paths you cannot yet imagine. Trust, even when it's hard. Trust because I am with you, walking through the storm, not to remove it, but to show that in it I am greater. This is the security you must cling to. I am sovereign. I am your refuge. Nothing can separate you from my love and care. So, my beloved child, rest in the certainty that I have never left you, never abandoned you, and never will. Even when fear knocks at your door, even when doubt whispers in your mind, remember that I am here, firm, strong, walking with you. I am the presence that sustains you, the strength that renews your spirit, the love that covers and protects you. Release what you try to hold alone. Let me carry the weight. Fix your gaze on me with faith, and you will see no storm is greater than the one who created the winds and waves. My dear child, I know that often you walk with a heavy heart, always expecting the ground beneath your feet to give way, that the joy you feel today could be taken from you in an instant. But I want you to know, with all the certainty of my love, that I did not create you for this kind of life. I do not want you to live in constant fear of suffering, trapped by the dread of what might happen, as if any moment now a devastating storm would reach you. I ask you now to stop and listen with an open soul to this deep truth. What you fear, what could hurt you, has already been absorbed by me. I have already extended my protection over you long before circumstances could touch you. You have been preparing for a pain I have already borne in your place. You have armored your emotions as if heartbreak were inevitable, but I have already stretched out my hands to limit the impact of what might have crushed you. What seemed like the end will be redirected, diverted before it reaches its hardest form. I have placed invisible barriers around you, protective structures you do not see, but that keep your path safe. I understand that you still flinch, that you still tense up at every uncertain moment because you don't realize how covered you really are. You think survival comes from anticipating pain, from constantly preparing for the worst. But true protection, my child, comes from trusting the one who determines how far the pain is allowed to reach. There have been moments that should have destroyed you, situations aimed directly at your vulnerability, attacks meant to bring you down once and for all. But they did not succeed. It was not by chance. It was not because you were strong on your own. It was because I placed myself as a shield between you and destruction. I intervene. And even when it seems like things happened without my involvement, believe me, if I had not acted, the story would have a very different ending. Yes, things were hard. Yes, they hurt. But what I prevented was greater than what you endured. This is the mercy you need to start seeing, not just the presence of difficulties, but the absence of total devastation. That absence is not accidental, it is intentional. It is me acting in silence, protecting your heart and soul. It is urgent that you begin to recognize my mercy amid your daily battles, because if you continue living in constant defensive mode, treating every day like an imminent threat, you will lose the true purpose of your existence, the peace and joy I offer. I did not create your spirit to walk with clenched fists, eyes always watching for danger that might arise at any moment. I created you for rest, for deep breathing, for fearless surrender. When you live expecting everything to go wrong, you lose the ability to enjoy what I am already doing on your behalf. Let go of the instinct to brace yourself for the worst, because I have already softened your path with grace. My timing surrounds every hardship to ensure nothing that comes your way will destroy your soul. Trust this. Believe it. I am not asking you to pretend you are fearless, but to trust that I have already drawn the line of how far anything can go. Everything that touches you touches me first. I absorb the full force of every blow before it reaches your life. And when something is permitted, it is permitted with purpose and comes with boundaries you do not always see. So breathe differently now. Walk lighter. Stop bracing yourself. That is no longer your posture. Stand knowing you are not exposed. Walk knowing your tomorrow is not raw and uncovered. You are encased in a love that works ahead of your worry. Just as a parent places padding on sharp corners before a child even learns to crawl, I have placed my mercy where you have not yet stepped. You didn't notice because you were focused on the threat. But I have been surrounding you with supernatural cushioning that turns what could have been fatal into something that builds your faith instead. So drop the fear. Stop expecting disaster. You have already been caught, cradled. And you will continue to be, because I do not allow you to be struck without preparing the healing in advance. Before you cry out for the winds to stop and the waves to flatten, I want to reach into the center of your chest and still the storm that lives there. You have focused too much on your surroundings, waiting for conditions to change so you can feel safe again. But hear me urgently, I am more interested in calming your inner world than rearranging your outer one. The turbulence is not just out there, it is inside you. The racing heart, the shallow breaths, the spiraling thoughts that convince you something terrible is coming, these have become your daily rhythm. But I did not create you to be at the mercy of your environment. I made you to carry my presence in every circumstance, no matter how loud, how unpredictable, how relentless. And my presence is not fragile. It does not disappear when the atmosphere becomes hostile. It rises up against chaos, conquers disorder, and quiets the restless spirit. You ask me to remove the tension around you, but I want to restore the peace within you. Because true peace does not come when everything is perfect. It comes when you are connected to me in the middle of imperfection, right in the midst of the storm that seems to be winning. If the storm outside feels like it's prevailing, it's because the storm inside has not yet been addressed. But I am stepping in now, right here, ready to bring the calm your heart desperately needs. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.